Yo, what's going on guys? I hope you are all doing well. My name is Zeppelin and today I have quite a different video planned for you guys, but one that I'm quite excited to make and one that I hope you enjoy. So as a lot of you may know, even though I do not actually play it much on my channel, I am actually quite a big fan of Call of Duty Warzone, and in my free time I will play a couple of games, whether that be with people or on my own. And not to toot my own horn a little bit, but I do feel like I am pretty good at the game, and I thought it would be interesting to show you guys some gameplay that I captured a few days ago on stream, but sort of run through it as more of a highlights video, do some commentary over it to sort of tell you what I was thinking in the moment and how I took on my gunfights. I have no idea how long this video is going to be. In fact, it may be over multiple videos, considering that I played 3 games, and it depends how much I stop and talk in them, because as you all know, if you watch me regularly, you know I like to waffle. So I hope this is something that you will enjoy, and if you do, please make sure to leave a like, make sure to also leave a comment letting me know what you thought of the video, maybe places I could improve or content you would like to see in the future. And if you want to see my content in the future, then make sure to subscribe and go onto my social media pages such as Twitter to be notified when I upload anything new or I'm going live on Twitch, which is where this gameplay was originally captured. So part of this series of 3 games now that I'm about to show you is a game where I got 16 kills. I do believe over the course of these 3 games I got 16 kills in the first, 11 in the second, and then 16 again in the third, and that is why I wanted to show you this gameplay, as it is quite good. I believe it highlights some of my better areas in gameplay, and I also think there are things that you could learn from the clip to help, or from the clips should I say, to help you improve your shot in game, and more importantly your tactical awareness, as I believe the sort of tactical aspect of playing Warzone and Rebirth in this instance, as the gameplay will be on Rebirth, is highly underrated by the casual player in terms of how much it means for you to be able to go on and do better in your games. You can have all the gun skill that you want, but it's where you apply that gun skill that really matters in terms of not only getting you the higher amount of kills, but also the higher placement in lobbies. So with that being said, I have now transferred us over to the first game. Now I'm not showing the start of this clip or this game should I say, as it is very muddled. I landed with my teammates and was kind of dying, going back to life multiple times and getting little assists and a couple of kills in there just by simply putting some bullets in people, knocking them, trying to finish them, and then going down. It was a bit of a mess, so I'm just going to start this clip from where I really start to get into my game and talk to you about how I played going forward, as this game, especially since I didn't actually get started in it until late because I had died the first couple of times and I'd also decided to land away from my teammates, I was left in a position where I had to be sneaky and really play my cards right in order to get myself back into the lobby and give myself a decent chance of coming out with the win. Okay, so I have the volume of this clip mostly turned down because I was in a game chat with people. I wasn't talking to them, but sometimes they were just being annoying and making noises, so for the sake of your viewing I have turned it off, but don't worry, I can talk you through what's going on. Now as we see here in this clip, I had just landed back down in a building and I had heard people underneath me, which is why I was being sneaky. I knew there was gunfights going on. However, when the gunfight stopped, I had a feeling that there would be one person left who was simply trying to play it up and take all the loot for himself. Now, as you can see by the room that I just ran into there was a lot of loot. I did not expect there to be that much, and there also could have been more than 2 people here at this time, so I got a little lucky in terms of who I ran into in this situation, and I also got a little lucky in terms of the gun that I managed to pick up when landing. But you will get a little bit of luck in these games from time to time like that. You know, sometimes you may pick up a gun where it doesn't work and there may be a full team in this position that I was in and you have no chance, but those are sometimes the risks that you have to take if you want to be able to really push on to win the games. And as you can see just around the corner here, I think it's hard to see on your screen, I can see him plating up. I have heard him plating up. I pick up a decent gun. I have a feeling he's on his own, so I go to try and take it, and I know that if I take this kill, there's a lot of loot there for me to get straight back into this game even at this later stage. So let's play on. Alright, so I get him cracked. I understand at this point that I have to go for this kill, because if he starts baiting and switching me with teammates, it's going to leave me in a very hard position. So if he does have teammates up that are close and in the vicinity, maybe just weren't right beside him, I need to get this kill and I need to get out rather quickly. So I chase him around this corner, put just about enough in him to get him down, and of course he just lets himself die there. Now, I do play it up, I think at this point. I do go back up the ladder to the loot. However, I know what the amount of loot that is down on the ground, right? And I also know, because he didn't straight away die, he was only downed, that he had teammates alive that could come into the vicinity. He'll have seen the gun that I was using maybe on a kill cam and would have seen that it was a common AK-74, I believe it was, or 47, I'm not sure quite what it was. But he would have known that I was in a position where I may have been weaker, or either going to be greedy for the loot, coming back into the room full of the loot. So he could very easily called it out, or there could have been very easily people landing back in. Remember, this is Rebirth. People can come back in Rebirth after a certain amount of time, and with this much loot on the ground, if even one person manages to come back in who was in this gunfight, they are going to be looking to get back onto this loot, because it is an absolute goldmine. Now, I believe at this part that I do hear someone, so I know not to be greedy. I was going to hide in here for a second anyway, just to see. But when I heard someone, I knew definitely I have to sit in here. And a lot of people don't like playing the campy strategy, and I don't believe in camping that much myself. However, I do believe that in certain tactical situations, it is just simply the right thing to do in order to make sure that you can get yourself out of that situation alive. You know, if you are outnumbered, you are outgunned, they have better weapons, it makes literally no sense to run head on to them just to die out of your moral principle of trying to engage every single gunfight head on. You want to make sure that you play sneaky at the right times and play tactical, but just try your best not to turn it into your complete strategy where all you do is corner camp in order to shoot people in the back. Can we press play here? I hear people. I think I hear 2 people at this point. I'm just sitting in the corner waiting for them to come into the loot. I know once, as soon as they start picking up their loot, that their guard is down, that they may have been looking for me. So I give it a second before I peek around that corner to make sure that I am not the first one spotted in this instance. Of course, I see him. I've got a full mag there, 33 bullets left. I haven't cracked. I put him down. I hear the second one beside me, go straight for that kill, and with just a few bullets left, I managed to get him down. Of course, I shoot with the pistol here. I mess it up a little bit, but I have a feeling I'm safe, so I make sure to reload, and I get that kill. And at this point, I'm fairly confident, just having a look around to make sure, but I'm fairly confident that I'm in a position where I can go for all of this loot. And that is another very important key aspect to keep in mind, is that when you down people, you need to be watching for what they have. If they have a self-revive, how many teams are left in the vicinity. I actually made a risky call in that gunfight to kill the person that was down, because it left me with only just about enough bullets left in my mag to kill the second person that was there. And if I had missed a couple of those bullets, I'd have had to switch to my pistol and he may have had the upper hand. It was only just because I was confident in my gun skill at that time to get the 2 kills that I actually went forward and done that. Okay, so at this point in the game, I know that there's not many people left around. I see my orange teammate is close by, so I start to pick up the guns that I feel will best suit me for moving forward into the zone. Now, I'm not going to just sit here and have you watch me looting the whole time, so we're going to skip forward a little bit in this gameplay. So I just go up to where my loadout dropped, and I was happy enough with the guns that I had, but I love my old faithful, my old Mac 10, so I made sure to get in there to have that as my primary, and picked up that Swiss as my secondary. Of course, I take my pop shots. I mean, when you're streaming, you're always thinking of getting a clip, so you always make sure to take those shots. Anyway, at this point, I know that someone was on my teammate. I know that he didn't spot this guy because it was paying attention to my mini-map. And now, this is something that a lot of players actually do not do when they're not proper competitive players, and I never understand why. They don't actually pay that much attention to their minimap because they think it takes away from what's going on in front of you. Now, of course, it depends what you're playing on. If you're playing on a 50-60 inch 4K TV, that minimap is going to be way out into your peripheral and you may miss things that are on it. Of course, I'm on a 24-inch competitive gaming monitor, so I have an advantage of that aspect, but I always do feel like it is worth constantly glancing up to that map every now and then and be checking for the red dots that are around you, because if I wasn't there and this guy ran past, this enemy that I'm just after downing would have 100% had the kill on my teammate. So it's always important to just be aware of your mini-map, and also as a team just to stick relatively together. Now, hugging each other in a game I never think is the right situation or the right thing to do, but in certain situations it makes sense just to be around each other for an instance if anyone actually gets into a little bit of danger, that you can make sure to get there to pick up a kill, or even bait yourself out to the point where you know you'll be downed, but you'll be confident in the fact that you've done enough damage and have the trust in your teammate who can go and finish the kill and get you up. Honestly, I believe it's a very underrated tactic, the sort of sacrifice tactic in games, to go in knowing that you are going to go down, but just being confident in that your teammates are going to be able to clean up after the damage you have left behind. So anyway, I picked up that kill. I'm looking around because again, I'm seeing the red dots. I take a shot, get him cracked, teammate gets him down. Teamwork working once again. See a guy outside. I run out, made a huge mistake there in terms of my ammunition. You know, in these games you make mistakes. All of this happened very fast paced. I wasn't paying attention to the ammo I'd left in my gun, which was entirely my bad, and things like that happen in game. But I made sure to get myself out of there. I was lucky that he hopped over the wall. If he was maybe confident in winning that gunfight, I think I might have been a goner. But he hopped over that wall, and I got back in, made sure to get myself safe, and reloaded. Of course, they are all getting involved in the gunfights now. I could have played it up and stayed inside, but I knew my teammates were in gunfights. I wanted to make sure I was there to help out where I could. As we're going to skip forward a little bit more. At this point in the game, things are getting way more tactical. Everyone's starting to call in their streaks. We kind of have one of the biggest, most important buildings in the entire map. So we are simply just making sure to keep that on lock and make sure that no one pushes us. Of course, I see a guy here, get him cracked, confident I can chase him out, put him down. Now, I was stunned, which was risky, but luckily there was no immediate danger around me. So I just managed to lie down and keep safe. Of course, I go for another snipe here that misses. Don't judge me too harshly on that. They're harder to hit than they look. Let's just skip forward a little more here. I'm going upstairs to the second floor, and I had a feeling I was hearing someone, but I wasn't sure where. And it was at this point, as I was looking around the corner and then moving into the room to my left, that I realized that I am being followed. So I get myself into the room for tactical advantage, pre-aim, get my shot fired early, and I put a lot of bullets into his legs there. I could have very easily been killed. He had a good shot, I had a good shot, but it was only because of the fact that I was ready for him and that I'd pulled the trigger, I think first, like marginally first, that I did manage to get that kill. But in many other situations, that is one you won't win. If I'd missed one bullet there, I was definitely a goner. So that was more of a who could pull the trigger first type of gunfight, and you'll find a lot of the times you will just lose those, and it might not necessarily be down to your lack of gun skill. It can be simply reaction times, and that can all depend on the monitor you're playing on, the controller you're using, your internet. So many different aspects can come into that. Okay, so once again, we are at a later part in this game. There are people around, but I'm not sure where. I'm sort of separated from my two teammates that are left in this game. I'm not really quite sure what I'm actually doing here. I'm just trying to hunt people that are left over in the building, catch them coming out. Of course, at this point, I get shot in the back. I realize I'm in trouble. I drop. I see this guy. I panic. I instantly panic, but I know I have to take on the gunfight. You see, I slide round there to try and pull his aim as wide as I can, because you never know what sensitivity people are playing on. If you can make sure to get close and slide around them, they might not be able to turn in time. And I was actually convinced I'd lost this gunfight. You know, I was really late to it. I had the wrong gun out. I had 2 armor plates lost, but luckily for me, he was weak. And even if he wasn't weak, I think I may have still won this gunfight, because he was very, very slow to turn around. But I did get lucky in this instance. I got the down, and I did not even look for a second to loot. I made sure to run to safety and run to my teammates to try and help. I see another guy here, and luckily I have enough ammo left to put him down, and I have no bullets left. Didn't want to reload, so I just use my knife and I slice him up. And at this point, I am super worried about the plates that I have, the situation that I'm in. So I play a little corner and make sure to get armor in me and make sure to try my best to keep safe. Now, at this point in the game, I'm looking around, I'm trying to be cautious, and here is where I make a mistake. I don't keep attention to the building on my right, which I should have, and I end up going down. Now, my teammates most likely could have saved me in this instance earlier, and the fact that they didn't is sort of weird, but you know, you're online playing at randoms, it's what happens. And what happens really next is that I crawl over to this guy right across the road, and I'm very lucky that I could get sniped or taken out of it at this point. But of course, you know, everyone towards the end of the zone is very much focused on their own safety, making sure they get placed into the right position so that they can take on the final gunfights to win the game. So I got lucky in that aspect, and there wasn't many people left in the game, and now we had 3 of us up with good guns in a good position to rotate in and take this win. So my teammates start engaging a fight down where it is marked, and I decide I want to come in from the widest angle possible. Not always the wisest decision, but I noticed here that they really weren't watching that corner very well. I've made a guy weak. I think I put him down here. I do. Now, I think he does get revived, but that guy being down and me being far left gives me an opportunity to come in low where there's cover and get in behind their position to do some damage. And I think he just got revived here. I see them. I know I have a gas mask, so I can play the zone. So I play way into the zone, start running around. The teammates had gotten the other kill anyway, and that was our victory. Now, I think that game I got 16 kills. We'll see here as we go to the end. I know I may have skipped past a couple of them that I got at the start that were more what you call scummy kills. But this was a game, as you could probably tell from watching, that I played my cards very close to my chest. I was playing stealthy, I was playing sneaky, crawling around a lot of corners, picking up guns where I could, and I really made a lot out of nothing in that game, simply just by getting a little lucky with ground loot, catching a guy in his own, putting him down, but then also playing around that ground loot in a clever way to make sure that I could get out of that situation okay, and make sure to get the loot and then link back up with my teammates, get a loadout, and make a push for the win. Now let's see how many kills we actually finished this game with. We got placement points placed first. I always love seeing a first, and yes, I finished that with 16 kills, 3,600 damage, or 3,600 score, nearly 5,000 damage. And is that end assists or revives? I actually can't remember. I can't actually see that myself because my camera at the moment that you're seeing on the top right hand corner of the screen is blocking my camera from the stream as well, so I can't see that, and I don't remember if it's assists or not. But I had a very good game in that instance. Okay, so this video ended up being way longer than I thought it would be. We're running close to 20 minutes here unedited. I may edit a minute or two of it out. So this is going to be about a 17-18 minute video if I had to guess. So we're not going to do the other 2 games in this video. However, I do want to do the other 2 games, and I am going to record them right now. So if you are watching this video, you've enjoyed the content and you want to see more, make sure to click onto the other videos that are going to be up on this channel of pretty much the same thing that I'm just after doing, from the same bits of gameplay from that stream, but just 2 different games. Now, if you are watching this the day it comes out, these videos that I have mentioned will probably be out a day or 2 after this, so don't worry, they will be out. But if you are watching a few days after, then rest assured all these videos are out and ready to view on my channel. So go do that right now, and make sure to leave a like on them, make sure to comment under them as well if you like them, and make sure to comment under this one. I want to know what you thought about that video. What did you think of my gameplay? Do you think there was a lot of waffle there? Do you think that I'm not really making the right points? Do you think I got lucky in my kills? Or do you think this was actually quite an informative video where I managed to show off some of my skills within the game and show off some tactical elements that may help you in your gameplay going forward? Whether it's positive or negative, as long as it's constructive, I always want to hear it. So make sure to leave that down in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Peace.